to figure shit out.
No, we're streaming right now.
All right.
Soft. We're listening to Rise by Ribeiro.
Again.
Well, the audience is. You guys aren't. Hold on, I'm going to turn it up.
What are you streaming live on? YouTube?
Yep.
Wow.
The link I put in on Facebook.
I don't believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 17th. It's Better with Hugh. Cleveland Browns Fancast. We're slap happy. We really don't give a shit anymore. And we are damn glad to be here. I love Hugh. And I do love Hugh. All of Hugh.
Wow.
And I have my two buds with me today. We got I Want My $20. I don't know what he's talking about there. And we have 1 and 29. I wish that number on the right side was a little bit higher. No, wait. Well, the way I'm looking at it. 29. I wish that number. Come on.
Nice.
You can't do that.
A little bit higher. Well, the way I'm looking at it.
Nice.
It's like on the horrible 30-second delay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The worst part about it is when I point this way, I just point at you.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes by my camera, so
It's always messed up.
so you're here, and 1 and 29.
Actually,
there.
no. When I point this way, I point at nobody. So
That's crazy.
John's over there.
This is I Want My $20, and this is 1 and 29.
Oh,
I'm
CJ.
pointing to myself.
Nope, you're pointing at nobody.
Okay.
That's if you point the
No.
other way.
The way
John's
you were
in the
pointing,
middle.
you're pointing at me.
This is me pointing at John.
Yep.
And that's
There
you
you
pointing
go.
at nobody.
If you guys
No,
keep
go the
that
other
up,
way.
you'd be
Go
like,
the other way.
I'm the man.
Other
I'm
way.
the man.
Yeah, it's terrific.
All right, so
Let's get right into it, Johnny.
well,
Do
we
it.
will. We will. Let me get into. I Want My $20 favorite part, and that's not favorite part. I should say favorite part that is not the end. So this could be your second favorite part. What did we just watch? Some Browns quotes. Like I said, I did a paltry job of putting them together. What the hell are we doing here? That's looking at the game coming up, and you heard it here first. Our predictions. This is getting rough, guys, and we're still here. Thank you to both of you for still being here.
I want my $20.
That's gonna be the only it's like $1 an episode.
It's difficult.
It really is, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Did
miserable.
you? Who finished watching the game? I started watching it and I didn't watch it. I don't even know. Like, it was after the third, after that fumble, the forced
Kaiser
fumble,
fumble in
the
the end
Kaiser
zone?
forced fumble.
That's when I started doing other stuff.
I was out. I was done. I can't even.
I was where you left me, so I watched all the way to the end.
You stayed there. I thought you were gonna leave.
No.
Gotcha. Well, guys, let's get right into the headlines from that game. It was 27-10. It was a debacle. Kaiser was 20 of 37 for 146 pedestrian numbers. But if you add in the 2 interceptions and the 1 forced fumble, awful
Terrible.
game. Awful
Red
game.
zone too.
He has regressed weekly.
Ugh. And then, wasn't the end zone? He was in the end zone when he fumbled it.
When he fumbled, but he had a red zone pick too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So same old story.
So
Different
bad.
week.
4 turnovers.
Crowell had 5 carries for 72 yards with a 59-yarder that helped lead to that Duke Johnson touchdown.
Right.
That was
5
pretty cool.
5 carries?
That's not cool at all.
How do you
What
justify that, Hugh?
did he end up with total carries for the game?
5.
5 carries, and then he had. I'm not sure how many catches he had, but he had 5 catches, I think, or
Boy,
5 passes thrown to him too.
So he had 5 carries. One of them was for 59 yards. So he had another 20-some yards on the other 4 carries. He was averaging 5 yards a carry, roughly.
Yeah.
And we just get away from the run as fast as we possibly
Right,
can.
and we entrust Kaiser. I'm starting to question what this guy's doing.
Yeah, it's been the story all year. The Browns are last in the NFL in rushing attempts.
Unbelievable.
Well, I know Dorsey was on with Bull and Fox this week, and they asked him if he was going to be the coach next year, and he emphatically stated that's what the ownership has said.
I don't buy it.
That's what they've said. It's looking more and more.
And they asked him a second time in a follow-up the same question, basically in a different way, and it was more along the lines of, do you want him to be the coach here next year? And he answered exactly the same way. He said, well, that's what ownership has said.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So,
that's what I was telling someone last Sunday is like, he's here. They interviewed a bunch of candidates, and he was the one who said he would accept Hugh as the head coach and keeping it together to see what happened.
no way. He can't. If they end up 0-16, what are you going to do? Wait until next season before he's 0-4 to
Right.
realize that you're going to axe him then?
Right.
No. It's time to go.
What if you guys don't believe that he doesn't have the roster to win?
I think he has enough of a roster to win 3 or 4 games, and he hasn't even won that.
Could have beat the Colts. Could have beat the Packers.
For
Who
sure.
else could we have? Who else could we have beat? Who was it close against?
Probably could have beat Pittsburgh in week 1.
I want to say we probably could have beaten Tennessee.
Mm.
Probably could have beaten the Jets if we showed
Our
up.
defense is so bad though too. Like it's like both ends of the ball are awful.
Not if you ask Greg Williams. Everyone's doing exactly what he asked them to do.
Well, then I don't know what he's talking about then.
Hey, 7th team in 8 years or something like that. I don't even know what his track record is anymore. It's terrible.
Now I had heard the Browns had 4 turnovers. What was the other turnover they had? Did a running back fumble it as well?
I don't remember.
I had done 4 turnovers, and I see Kaiser's accounting for 3 of them.
Wow.
I don't know who has the other one. It was a fumble or what it was. Baltimore had 376 yards. We had 266.
How many times this year have we even broken the 300-yard mark in total yards?
Oh, I don't even know. Have we? A couple times.
Couple, but
Yeah. The game against Tennessee.
The Packers game we had to have. Isn't
Yeah,
Kaiser throw
Packers
for
game.
like 270 in that game? We
Yep.
had to have.
This also the last stat for under what did we just watch? Browns attendance reaches the lowest point in 20+ years.
the stadium was a third full.
And I heard it was because there was 3 people that are normally there that didn't show up.
That didn't.
It's quite possible that that might have been the straw that broke the Browns' camel's back.
Very fitting.
3 lifelong, diehard season ticket holders that
made the difference.
that just decided that they couldn't do it another week.
Oh man, what did we just watch? I don't know if we need to dive in any further. All right, I got 3 quotes. Like I said, they're average at best. Let's see. I'm sure that I can help my team more than I really do, and more than I've been given the opportunity to do.
Just to bounce back a little bit here, Kaiser had 2 picks and a fumble. Duke Johnson had a fumble.
Duke Johnson.
There's your 4.
See, there you go. So he had to get that touchdown. I wonder when that fumble came because he made a touchdown, but he also fumbled. That Duke Johnson, he's still a little bit inconsistent.
Well, there you have it.
So 1-29, you already know the quote. You've been studying or what? You look at the slides earlier?
It's the crow.
Did you sneak in here so you could get all 3 right today?
No, I listen to Sports Talk Radio all
what
week.
What was the quote, sir? I missed it. I'm
Said,
sorry.
I'm sure that I can help my team more than I really do, and more than I've been given the opportunity to do.
I heard that.
That's
Today. I heard that today. Actually, the Crows. basically blames his lack of production on the play calling not going in his favor.
Yeah,
Do we buy it?
Hughes costing him a lot of money.
Well, his average this past Sunday would have suggested that you run the ball 25 to 30 times.
You're right.
And they obviously did not.
Can you look up what his average is like overall? Because he has a pretty high yards per carry average.
I can tell you what the Browns as a team average, 4.0 yards a carry, which is 12th in the NFL.
That's a first down every 3 runs. It's over a first down every 3 runs. What's their deal?
They also achieve a first down or a touchdown on 25% of their rushes, which ranks 3rd in the NFL.
What?
Yes.
But I also heard that too. But at the same time, we run the ball far less than anybody else in the NFL. So if you juice those up to 30 carries a game, those stats could be completely flip flopped. If you were to say run it,
so if they were to run more in the red zone,
you have a 21-year-old quarterback and you're passing 40 times a game. It doesn't make any.
A 21-year-old inaccurate quarterback.
Right, exactly, and no receivers that can catch.
Ugh. This sounds like episode 15 through 16. This sounds like episodes 5 through 16.
The most carries he's had so far this season in any game was 19, and that was last week against Green Bay. He was 19 for 121. Other than that, he's had 17 or fewer in every game, and most of those games were 10 or 11.
Unacceptable.
Wow.
No.
Next.
On October 1st against Cincinnati, he had 7. And then this past weekend, 5. So 2 games he had single digits. Most of them are just 10 or 11 or 12. A couple 16s and 17s thrown in there, but 19 was the most he's had in any game this season.
Wow.
That's awful. Has so and you know what is even, which is hard. This is hard to believe. But he already has 788 yards on only 179 carries.
That's the crow.
That is the crow. This
he's
year,
getting paid.
179 carries, 788 yards for a 4.4 yard average, but only 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And part of that is a lot because they seem to go to Duke, and Kaiser keeps the ball himself in the red zone to run it in, which is fine. You're scoring. I don't give a shit who does it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that that's enough to get him a big, huge paycheck from anywhere.
No.
Now you could argue, if his carries were doubled, if he had 25 to 30 per game, would he have 100 yards every game and he'd be well over 1,000 by now? Maybe.
If he's
never know.
Feature back carries. Mm-hmm.
But we obviously
we might not ever know anyway because they might not keep him.
For a team that went into this same season,
running back.
I almost guarantee they're going to draft a running back because they won't have to pay him. And if they tried to pay Crow, he probably at this point would say, bye. My agent and I will go elsewhere.
Yeah.
For a team that stated from the beginning of the season that they were going to run the ball, they were going to establish the run early and often, and they haven't done it.
They never do it.
I would have to say that falls squarely on the shoulders of the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Oh, wait a minute. That's the same guy.
Right.
So
it's the same guy.
We'll have to bring that back up, too, as Marvin Lewis is out in Cincinnati. Is he going to come be the offensive coordinator?
No, he's going to take a personnel front office job with the Bengals, and he's going to have Hugh be his coach.
Go back and be the coach.
We are going to get
We're fine with that, too.
We're going to get the next best college coach that's ready to make that leap into the NFL next year, who's going to be thrust into the position of head coach of the Cleveland Browns with 47 draft picks and an ass load of cash to throw at anybody he wants.
Oh, man. I had 3 quotes, and one of them got deleted. I'm going to have to go do revision history on here.
Here's one for you. The Browns fucking blow.
Here's another one.
Who said that?
You guys do every Fancast? Oh, wow. I did hear there was a congressman from Massachusetts today when they were talking about the tax bill and obviously he was a Democrat who didn't like the tax bill, and he goes, this is a load of crap. They're blowing stars up our butt, telling us that the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. Well, they're not. And this tax bill is awful. And I'm like,
now that is the quote of the century. The season is over.
I was like, I'm like, how is this guy from Massachusetts that probably doesn't have any idea? Like, everyone, it's like me getting Browns memes and Browns jokes from people that I know are not even football fans, and they are just berating me this year. Yeah. It is awful. I'm done.
They get mentioned on, like, Jimmy Kimmel, you name it. The Browns are a punchline everywhere, anywhere.
When you're a pop culture joke and people that aren't even into sports are making fun of you, you've done something wrong. You've
made it. You've made it.
Yes, you are there. All right. Arrived. On that note, I don't think people are learning a culture of losing. I think everybody's striving to do their best week in and week out. I don't think people are learning a culture of losing. I think everybody is striving to do their best week.
You don't have to repeat it. Unless you're just trying to milk this for as long as you can, you don't have to repeat it.
I did that for a dramatic effect.
Whoever said that is awesome.
Is it a player or is it personnel?
That is a player. That's a player, and wait till you see the title I've given him.
Wow. Dancing Danny Shelton.
It's not Dancing Danny. Do you see that Dancing Danny Shelton was donating, I think, his time and his money to an animal rescue? And same thing he did last year.
He's Danny has embedded himself deeply in the Cleveland community. He's good. He's good one of the ones. He's one of the few I think that actually wants to be here. Unfortunately, I think his days here are probably numbered.
Well, I think it'd be cool if he could embed himself into the back of the offense's line. That would be much more helpful.
Well, he's embedded himself into plenty of nightclubs. Dance floors.
Dancing Danny. Okay, guys, that is Pro Bowl alternate.
Oh, Batonio.
Wrong.
No,
Schobert. Joe Schobert.
That's right. I think Batonio is like a fourth alternate, right? Like don't wait by the phone kind of alternate.
I don't know. I didn't know there were different levels of alternates.
There are.
You're right about Batonio.
Yeah, I think he's a third alternate. Schobert is.
How do you know so much shit about the Pro Bowl?
Because that's all they've been smattering all day. Is how we've had nobody nominated to be in it besides a couple of alternates.
They didn't
want. You're 0-14. You should not have any players in the Pro Bowl.
No. And there's also 2013, 2014 when Whedon was the starting QB. When we have 7 that year, I think. Was it 7? 6 or 7 players went to the Pro Bowl. They weren't alternates either. They were there.
Yeah.
And then this year we get Schobert, who will probably go because somebody playing linebacker is going to be on a Super Bowl.
The guy ahead of him's hurt.
There you go. He's
already in.
He's going to represent and you know what? Good for him because that guy played his ass off this year. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job.
He'll probably go to the Pro Bowl and tear his freaking MCL or something.
Oh my gosh! Don't be like that. All right. Oh, I'm sorry I lost that third quote.
You're fine.
That's all right.
That one from that one governor from Massachusetts wins quote of the day anyway. So.
All right. So this is what the hell are we doing here?
He was.
This is what the hell are we doing here? The first one I have, maybe you guys know who it is already, but Kindred is on injured reserve, and they signed a defensive back.
Right.
Huh.
And then there's rumors that Peppers might be taking over Kindred's spot
and
not playing that Angel.
I heard that.
Is it fair to have him not play the Angel on Christmas Eve?
Yes.
Don't we want him to play the Angel on Christmas Eve?
I want him to play any other position except that.
I don't care. I don't care where he plays as long as it's somewhere near the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
I want him to play on the same side of the field.
Give him a chance to do something.
Oh, that poor guy. He's going to have to – well, if they bring Greg Williams back, I mean, it's going to be the same, won't it? Or he has to change it up. They have to just be doing that because he has no faith in his corners.
Greg Williams cannot have a job here next year. I'm sorry.
No, the corners are average. They're not bad.
Yeah, no, Taylor and McCourty have
they're average.
Decent. Well, why the emphasis on that Angel when you get torched on screens and – dump off passes.
Because our offense is so bad, the reasoning is they don't want any quick hitters. They don't want any quick strike plays from opposing offenses, so they leave that guy back there to prevent that from happening. To help our offense.
Just seems we're like an intermediate route sieve.
So they're not going to let him throw 1 for 30, but they're going to let him throw 6 for 5.
Yeah.
What does that accomplish? What does that do?
We do nothing in the red zone. We do nothing when it comes time to get a
core
stop.
football that I don't understand?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Analytics.
Analytics are great for stats and shit, but they suck for football.
They do.
Wow. There's no way Greg Williams can be here next year. This team has given up more points than any team in the NFL, I believe.
He won't be here. Don't worry.
And we have to have an offensive coordinator. Hugh cannot do both. If he's here, he's got to hire an offensive coordinator.
Not coming back either.
I wish I could believe you, James, but I just can't.
If they bring in a new coaching staff, are we starting over again?
I wouldn't call it a start over. No,
because they have a small core of players.
I think Dorsey is going to bolster the team to win immediately.
What are your guys' thoughts on them, like, switching schemes? So, like, going and doing a different offensive scheme and doing, like, maybe going to a 4-3 from a 3-4.
Well, first of all, you'd have to tell me what our scheme is now. I don't know what the scheme is now.
It's a 4-3.
No, I'm talking about our offensive scheme. What is our offensive
Isn't it Hughes?
scheme?
It's like Hughes' Cincinnati scheme, isn't it? It's like
You're
Hughes'
having their
scheme.
quarterback anyway, so it's not going to matter. He would have to learn Hughes' scheme, but since Hughes not going to be here, it's going to be a wash. The offense will have to learn a new scheme, so deal with it.
So they are kind of starting over.
I wouldn't even say it's.
Well,
you're going to be 0-16. What are you starting over from?
I don't know.
What do we start? It's not like we're starting over from a 4-12 season. They're going to be 0-16.
Right.
You're not starting over. You're starting.
You're flushing the toilet and filling it back up with clean water.
Starting.
You can't get any worse. I don't.
All right. Chicago.
Yes.
We're not gonna do predictions right now, but the headline is they have the 8th best defense, but they have the 30th ranked offense.
They run the ball a lot. They never pass.
We're good against the run.
All season long.
Doesn't matter. They're going to do the exact same thing Brett Hundley did to us in the Green Bay game. They're going to throw 3, 5, 7-yard intermediate routes underneath, and that we can't cover a tight end, so it doesn't matter. And they will march the ball down the field, and they will score.
Probably.
So they're going to have a good mix of running and Trubisky.
Mostly running. Mostly running.
Yeah, as
we're good against the run.
We've been a little shaky the last few weeks.
They will do exactly what other teams have done to us. They will take what we give them because the film is out. It's out there for everyone to see.
Do they? I don't know that they have the same caliber wide receivers that Green Bay has.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they don't have good wide receivers. No, there's a couple of
running. They have Cohen. Tariq Cohen's a good little back.
There are very few teams this year that we played that I would say, everyone was afraid of the wide receiver, core that they had, and they picked us apart 5 yards at a time, and there was nothing the Browns did to stop it.
What no-name receiver did well against us?
Pick one. Who do we play this year? I'm sure if I went through the stats, I could throw up. I could throw a bunch of them out there. And
the tight ends did good. I don't know that any wide receivers really showed out that weren't good to begin with.
Which game do you want to look back on? Pick one.
I don't want to look back.
Exactly. Why would you?
We're good against the run.
That's the last time I'll say that. I like
that. One last headline here. Hugh is undefeated. Oh, it says on Christmas. Hugh is undefeated on Christmas Eve. I'm going to have to change that right now in the moment.
He is undefeated on Christmas Eve, isn't he?
Yep.
Boy,
does that mean anything?
No.
Isn't that something?
That means nothing to you guys?
No.
Well, we did get to see the one victory last year
And you would have thought that we won the Super Bowl by the way we were acting in the stands.
You would have. A lot of people would have thought that. A lot of people would have thought that.
Oh, I fixed it. Now it's all not even centered right. Hugh is undefeated on Christmas Eve. So let's get right into our predictions for the week. So you heard it here first, as we always do. Last week's predictions. Ho Ho Horrible said the Browns will be introduced to Alex Collins, and it will be 30-10. I don't know that we got introduced to him, and it was 10, but it was not 30. It was close. 1-29 said the Browns lose 21-0. That was
Really?
both numbers were wrong. And Ravens 24-14 was me.
That's a decent one.
I gave the victory to myself. And then I looked at Brian's score, and he was so wrong about Alex Collins. But I gave him a point because I gave a point because I didn't have the score exactly right either.
Oh, come on.
It's closer.
So, but I'm giving myself
You didn't like the Alex Collins?
full victory. No.
You're a douche.
All right. So let's get to it.
Prediction.
You heard it here first. What's gonna happen?
Go.
Go ahead, John. You go first.
Okay.
You never go first.
I think that
Chicago.
Here we go.
I think that Crow
You have to pick that we're going to
will
win.
have
If you see this right,
100
right
yards.
See this right here?
What? I can't see it. I'm typing.
It's all right, right there. You're
Yeah.
pointing the wrong way, Jim. You're pointing the wrong way. It's all right. See that? Right?
It's weird what
Huh?
you guys are doing.
I know, but I just want you to look at this when you get a chance. See this
I'm
right
looking
here?
at it.
Yeah, well, I know what your prediction is going to be.
I don't know what you're pointing at the bottom of your camera, and that's all I see.
Hey, that's where my name is.
Oh no, it's no.
Is it over here?
Yes, there it is.
Is it over here?
Well, you're probably gonna get your $20, but
I can't wait to frame
we're going to win on Christmas Eve.
that. Wow.
Crow 1100. Duke is 2 TDs.
Santa Browns is coming to town. Is that what you're trying to
And
say?
it will be 24-21.
Are they just going to spot us 14?
What do you mean?
Where are you coming up with 24? If we scored 24 in the last, well, no, I think we did no, we didn't against the Packers. That was only 21. Have we scored? What is the team's average points this season per week?
I don't know. When's the last time we scored 24 points?
That's why I said it. Are they going to spot us 14? I don't get where you're getting 24 at.
Well,
thanks for catching up, John.
well, they do have the 8th best defense in the league. So that's
Who does?
Chicago. So it's going to be a little bit of a hard sell. But
Oh my God.
we have to if we want to win. And they're going to score 21. So we have to score 24 in order for me to win.
Oh my God. You'd be better off saying 22-21. Those extra 2 points are going to be hard to come by.
We got this, guys. Duke's
I
going to
do
score
have
two touchdowns. And
Duke.
Duke Johnson. Okay. They don't utilize him correctly either, so it doesn't matter what
this
you say
is going to
about
be
him.
the game that they're going to dedicate to the run.
Yeah. Okay.
Why? What is making you think these
Yeah,
things?
you're right. Let me go back in there. I think you guys have talked me off the ledge. Hold on, let me fix that. It's going to be 17-14. Nothing else needs to change.
Which would mean 17-14 who?
Browns.
You're still thinking the Browns are going to win, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Got to win one. Don't be an 0-16 loser like the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
All right, you going to the parade?
What do you think, James?
Oh, I'm not going to that stupid ass parade. I couldn't think of a more embarrassing parade to go to than that parade.
Oh, Chicago Bears road game. No one's going to want to be there. No one's going to show up to the game.
So you predict an empty stadium?
Yes, half filled. Mitch
Browns-
Trubisky, 2 touchdowns.
Don't the Bears have
Chicago
4
Bears
wins this
defense,
season?
1 touchdown. Chicago Bears 24, Browns 7. All right, 10. 24-10.
We always get that one field goal.
Yeah.
It's usually our first drive when we're moving the ball pretty well. We get down to the 20, we get a couple penalties, we get pushed back to the 30, and then Gonzalez kicks a 47-yarder, and we're all like, oh, well, maybe we got something today. And then the shit hits the proverbial fan, and that's the end.
What did you say, 24-10?
Yes, Bears.
They have the 30th ranked offense.
Yeah, but I said they're going to score a defensive touchdown.
I know, I got that.
So, there you go.
Right. Okay, I got you. So you're giving them 14 points on offense too. You're just giving them a field goal and a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and our special teams blows. So
you think Kaiser's going to throw a pick or have another forced fumble in the
at least
end zone?
at least 1 or 2 picks. Yeah.
I want my $20. What do you think's going to happen?
It's going to be an embarrassment, I think, for both teams. I think with 30th ranked offense and 32nd ranked offense or 31st, is there anybody worse than us on offense?
I can't imagine if there is.
Because if the Bears are 30th, we have to be 31st or 32nd. We cannot be better than them.
No.
So there's another team
we're the
out
worst
there.
Offense.
Okay.
Who's worse than us?
Are we sure that Kaiser is starting?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He said that Monday.
He did.
Yeah,
he quelled all hope on Monday.
Okay.
He's gonna ride that horse till he dies.
So what did you say? Embarrassment is the only word I have down.
Yeah, so far I think it's gonna be an embarrassing, hard to watch game on both sides. I mean, I'm talking 9-6 at halftime, maybe just trading field goals back and forth. Both teams having a hard time moving the ball on each other because they suck.
Yeah.
Both teams are hitting their stride,
you know what? I can't
own.
believe I'm going to say this, and I don't know why, because I must have been.
Don't you dare say 17-14.
I'm not going to say that. I was going to say Browns 16, Bears 13.
Wow.
We get our one win of the season. I still win my $20. The Christmas Eve thing continues for Hugh.
If we win, we're coming back next week to broadcast.
We're coming back next week anyway. We have to talk about this debacle anyway.
If we lose, this broadcast system is not getting turned on.
We cannot.
I will see you in 2018. We will debrief the loss to Pittsburgh, and we'll throw in the loss to Chicago.
You heard it here first.
I will hand deliver your $20 to you as well. Maybe we'll broadcast live from your sun porch.
I want that shit framed. I'm telling you, if I don't want to win that $20. I don't want to win that $20.
Oh, man.
I would love nothing more than the Browns to show something that resembles a football team in the next 2 weeks, so I could say, all right, maybe it might have taken a little longer for the, this
I just don't think we have the horses.
Traction.
I just don't think we have the horses. They're in too many injuries.
The new GM,
everybody
all but said we don't have enough good football players.
No,
on
I mean,
this
right.
team.
We didn't have enough to begin with. Right. It's not an excuse more so than it's just reality. We're dealing with practice squad bums and people that were undrafted. I mean, it's not an excuse. It's reality, but it is what it is, regardless. If this team couldn't win with all of our horses, we're certainly not going to win with most of the key ones out.
Yeah,
if I see them punt once on 4th down when they're near midfield, I will go insane. My head will explode, I think. Let's say you're near – tell me if you're near midfield at 0-14 and you're going to punt.
Speaking of, did you see that Joe Thomas said that when he said he was tweeting saying that he was going to put in a bid to buy the Panthers? He said basically he's going to employ a model like the Green Bay Packers where everybody is going to be a shareholder of the team with him. The food and drink is going to be woven into your season ticket prices. He goes, they will always go for it on fourth down. Well, they'll never need a punter because they're never going to punt. They'll never need a field goal kicker because they're always going to go for it.
Well, someone's got to kick the extra. No, they're going to go for 2 every time then, huh? They don't need to go. They don't need to kick extra points. Wow.
Yeah.
Why can't we get Joe Thomas to buy the Browns?
Gee, that's what everyone was saying. They're like, please don't.
You know why? I know why. Because he played for this team. Poor guy.
He's like,
he doesn't want to.
I know what's going on here.
He's probably healthy as a horse right now, and he probably could come back for the last game of the season. You know what he says?
No.
My arm still kind of hurts.
No way. No way.
It's like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack. Oh, my arm. It's broken. Sure, Joe.
This half hour goes a lot faster when everything's all set up right and ready to go.
Terrific.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a soft close as we listen to Rise by Ribeiro. You guys can say goodbye to everybody and say we'll see you next week.
I thought you said we're not broadcasting next week, you dickhead.
Oh, if we lose, we're not. If we win.
Well, hey,
if
we'll
we
either
win,
see you next week or we'll see you next season.
That's right. Well, we should close out the season, see who they fire and all that, have that kind of wrap-up show.
Oh, we got to have a season wrap-up.
Exit interview edition of It's Better With You.
That's right.
And then everybody gets their you get a timer and everybody gets a 2-minute rant.
All right, guys. This is the It's Better With You Fancast. We will see you sometime.
See you in Chicago.
We all have to be drunk if we have to do another one.